Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. And I'm actually a little excited today because this service we're doing today, we're starting at 3:10 in the morning, which is not actually a service start time. But by the time we get ourselves into position, we will be starting a service exactly at the same time as an actual service on the Long Island Railroad that is actually in today's schedule as I'm releasing this. I decided to skip Monday, so you were seeing the scenario 5, the Brooklyn Baller scenario yesterday. So I decided I'm going to put number 6, the Too Early for Work scenario, out today, which is going to be Wednesday. And I'm looking ahead at the schedule as I'm recording this on the Long Island Railroad app, and there is a 29-minute trip on the Hempstead branch, literally starting at 3:22 on Wednesday morning. So this morning as I am recording this. Now, it will be, by the time I actually release the video, it's going to actually be gone. Let me actually see it's going to be on the timetable for Thursday, in fact. If it's on Thursday's timetable, I can refer you to that. It is. It's on Thursday's timetable, too. So it looks like it's a daily service. It actually does match the exact service that I think it's the exact same service we have here. I'm going to check the timings in the scenario to see if they match completely. There might be some slight differences for game purposes, for what the game allows. But I'm going to be comparing the service in this timetable, the real timetable, to the one on the website. And I think there's an exception that we have to stop at Hollis for a staff pickup. This service does not have a staff pickup. So that was added, I think, just to show off the Hollis station. But this service does not normally have a staff pickup, it looks like. So we'll keep that in mind. But this is the exact same. This is the exact same set of stations, exact same route. Let's take a look at this, shall we? I'm excited about this one, actually. Good morning, engineer. Set up the train, then pull into Hall layup track before reversing into Jamaica track 8. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to go ahead and just do the setup process manually this time, because there's not really much point to poking around here. Let's turn the key on. I mean, let me rephrase that. We're going to have to poke around here for a while. I already took a look at the map. It's a little bit busy. So let's move the brake out. Let's put the HUD up so I can see what I'm doing. Put that into max brake. We're going to move the, we're going to use the charger rather to get the brakes down. Move that into forwards while we're waiting. I'm going to go ahead and start releasing the brake now, which I can't do because then the charger doesn't work. Okay. There's your lesson, guys. Don't release the brake or the charger won't work. We're going to turn the headlights on. Yeah, we are going to turn the headlights on. We're going to turn the wipers on too. Headlights are right there. And quick peek at the map so we can see what we're doing. That's where we're going, the Hall layup track. We're waiting for this train. Excuse me, 3602 to Huntington. Further up the map, this guy is going to be coming in. 804 to Lindenhurst. There may be other AI on the map, but those are the two that I know of right now, having poked around the map already once. So we're going to go ahead and see how they play into the scenario. It looks like the train at Jamaica right now is going to be holding the path away from us because this junction is set against us on track 6. Or track 5, sorry, track 4. So the junction is set against us on track 4. We have to cross all those tracks into the layup track, which is really inconvenient if you think about it. But that's the track that gets to lay up onto. Now we're going to assume that we don't know that train is going to be holding us up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and maintain my normal speed. I'm not going to think anything of it because I got plenty of time to do this. I can do whatever I need to do if I'm looking at it from the perspective of having lots of time. That train will leave, I think, in the next minute. It would have to. It would have to be gone by the next minute, if not sooner. Otherwise, there's absolutely no way we will get there. So we're going to be continuing onto Johnson Avenue lead. Quick peek at the map. The train is still there. So maybe taking another poke ahead in just a moment. You can see the track is set for the 80 right now that the other train is going to be getting in a second. The train is starting to move. I can see it, the header moving on the platform there. We're getting alerted to the fact that we're now entering speed control territory. So we're now under a 15. Oh, we can see the yellow signal. I had to zoom in for it, but you can see the yellow signal there. The 2 stop lights. So the horizontal line being stop. It's on both tracks. The track on the other line and our line. So there's no ambiguity here. We know that ours is going to be a stop signal no matter what. Let's keep the signal in sight preferably. There we go. Let's look at this other train as it leaves. So we're waiting for the signal to clear here back in the cab of the train here. We can see that the junction is not yet set for us. The train is well beyond it, but it is not set for us yet. So we were watching the train cross the junction there. So we're just waiting for that signal to clear. It's going to do it in the next few seconds, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we have to have some time to do this, right? It makes sense. We got to go the next 20 seconds, I think. We gotta go in the next 20 seconds, I think. Oh, the junction just changed on the HUD as I went to look at the map and see what was happening. So as soon as I saw the junction change on the HUD, I knew we were getting our signal and we're good to go now. So we can now see the layup track path is set here. That's exactly where we're going. We got an advisory that we're entering a 20 segment. The 20 is now showing up on our HUD. However, we're not going to be going 20 because we're going to get alerted to the 15. We still have to answer. So we're still required to say, yes, we're aware that we're going 15, even though we were before. So the Hall layup track is now just a little over 1/10 of a mile away. That is where we, of course, are going to go. Oh, we can go 15 now. Let's do that. Now, I'm not going to put the train all the way into the layup track. There's no reason for me to do that. All it's going to do is make me take more time to finish the task, and I think I'm already very tight. I have to be at Jamaica in 3 minutes. This is going to be very, very tight. So I am not trusting myself to have to necessarily go all the way into the layup track. You can see the junctions are going to eventually be set for behind me to head back across now, so we are going to be able to go back to the station at this time. We should not have an issue with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just maintain my speed here. I'm going to pull into the layup track a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop. So if I stop right here. Now this may screw up the signaling, but I don't think there's any other way I can do this without having to come to a very quick and immediate stop here somewhere partly in. I might have actually gone too far in to make it doable now. So I'm going to go ahead and just ride the train from behind this time. Normally I would reverse, get in the train and drive in the other direction, but the amount of time setting up the cab, if I were to, even with just the Z at this point, is going to make it inconceivable to even try to do it in any reasonable amount of time. So rather than waste my setup time here, I'm just going to try to reverse. So, okay, engineer, please bring the switch to the... Yeah, I'm skipping that. Forget it. We don't have to request to pass the signal because, well, what do you know? We're already past the signal. It can be a stop right now because we're already past the signal. Not an issue. Of course, now I said I wanted to ride the cab in the back, and I'm not riding the cab in the back anymore. That's intelligent. So we're going to try to maintain 15 here, and I actually do have to try to maintain the full 15. I don't have much of a choice. We have a little over 3/10 of a mile to go to get to Jamaica. We are now going 15 miles per hour. That will allow us to go a quarter of a mile at once. So by 3:19:30, we should be down to about, I would say about 5/100ths of a mile away from Jamaica. I'm going to try to run 15 a little bit here into the 16, so you can try to cut off some of that time. There is a downhill segment here. I'm going to be wary of that. So I'm going to stop increasing. I'm going to do one more quick speed burst. I'm going to stop increasing speed right here. Because I think the downhill is going to take my train at this point. Yeah, here it goes. It's trying to stay up now. It's going to try to increase on this 1.6. Oh, 1.6 gradient is not good. That is a heavy gradient. So now I'm actually going to be dropping to 14 as I try to reverse back into Jamaica. Which is unfortunately going to eat into my estimates from earlier because I wanted to stay at 15. But as soon as you start adding downhill gaining speed, you need to control your speed. Now, I might have had a red there, but we're not being ticketed for passing reds here, so we're probably going to be okay, even if that was a stop signal. We got exactly where I expected to get, with 5/100ths of a mile to go, right around the 19:30 point. So we're now backing into Jamaica. We are entering the platform. I've take my speed down to 12 at the moment. We have about 40 seconds to make our stop. I don't want to really run into these gates right now. So let's just ride along the platform here. Beauty. I don't have to go all the way back to the arrow. I'm just going to go far enough in that I'm fully into the platform. And then I will bring the train to a stop. That will allow me to do it on time. So the arrow is not related to the stop task. So we can now come in. You can see the other train has also entered the track at this point. We also have a stop signal, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit tab, and we're going to get that changed for a slow clear at this point. We are good to go out of the station. Let's open the doors. Let's begin our boarding process, shall we? Engineer, we are now ready for departure. Our first stop will be Hillside facility to drop off some staff members before making our first revenue stop at Hollis. Please, we don't need to change cabs. And depart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and depart. Now, I went ahead and reset my train, so I did go back to a neutral setting there for a moment. I just didn't change it out in time before we started moving here. Now, before I get too far, I want to show something very interesting here. If we head back to the train that was next to us at the station, you're going to notice that this train did not open its doors. You see the doors here are not open. I don't know why it didn't open its doors, but it didn't. So, you know what? Doesn't want to open its doors, we can't make them. So we're now operating in a 15-mile-per-hour section. I will be very happy when I'm out of these small speed sections, because these are the sections that whenever I make a mistake in these scenarios on this route, these are the sections I always end up having to redo, and I am sick of them. I am sick of them. I hate them. I hate having to redo stuff in slow speed areas. It takes way too much time, and it's just time I would rather spend editing, but I have to actually get a clean edit first. The amount of time it takes to retake a shot is the amount of time I can save an edit. Save the entire edit. The entire video. Very, very disappointing. What can you do? We're going to try and get this done. Because if we do it all clean this time, we're not going to know anything was wrong, right? Well, you know something was wrong, but we won't talk about that. We need to slow down a little bit now because we were on a little bit of a downhill gradient. The back of the train still is. We only have a 6-car train today, which I believe does match the actual service as well. There's our beep, so we're going to get moved up to 80. The train code also is moved up to 80, but don't just rush up to 80 because Well, there's two reasons. One, we have to wait for the sign to pass the back of our train before we can actually go above 15. You know that rule. Just one of those rules. Nothing you can do about it. And then after you do start increasing, oh, that was a very quick increase. Wasn't ready for that. After you do start increasing, we're going to see that there is a sign up ahead that says 60. We cannot exceed 60 at this time because of that sign. If we try, we'll get pulled back down anyway. So we have to stay no higher than 60 at this time. Well, go ahead and get up to speed quickly, though. So our first stop on this service would normally be at Hollis at 3:28. As you can see, we're going to Hillside at 3:26, and we're going to be staying there until 3:27. So we're going to be a minute late at Hollis, which is understandable at this point. The Hollis stop is going to be a minute late. And that's because we are doing the Hillside stop. So 3:29 is our scheduled stop at Hollis. Now, I believe the staff stops are the same every day for consistency. With the exception of special schedules for like works and things like that, like the previous weekend and for next weekend, and this coming weekend, I should say. Sorry, like there's 6 weeks in a row where there's different kinds of works going on, so the staff schedule is going to be a little different for some of the trains. But aside from that, the staff schedule should be exactly the same, I would think, like any other timetable. So for that reason, I think that this would not, since this is not a staff stop on the actual timetable, it normally would not be, and it's just a bit of a fictitious addition here. I think it was meant. I think when Rob chose to put that stop on, he intended to show off Hillside with this scenario, and with this particular scenario. And in reality, some Hillside or some Hempstead services do stop at Hillside. So it just turns out this one normally does not. But maybe the other service is not running today, and we were asked to make the staff stop. I don't know. Maybe there's other services that not stop there. So we were asked to handle staff today. Or there's staff waiting here that had to be picked up to go to Hempstead to pick up another train that is already waiting there or something. Or they're getting on another stop along the route. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but we're going to just assume that something could be happening there. We're going to go ahead and continue our stop at Hillside and take a quick look at the Hillside from the comfort of out of the air. So before we go any further, this is Future Cyclone here. I made a horrible mistake on that commentary a moment ago, and I realized that as I was talking, I probably should have been looking at the Hillside schedule as I was saying that, and I didn't have it handily available, so I just kind of made up what I thought was true based on what I saw on the customer timetable, because I've actually seen Hillside on customer timetables before. It turns out that the Hillside timetable has everything covered for these services. Now, I don't know how often they're used, but let's take a quick look at them and find out. So as you can see here, the Hillside timetable not only shows service number 704 on line number 6 for the eastbound timetable towards Hillside, but also has 702 on the line immediately above it, 700 a couple above that, 706 further down, 708, 710. It actually continues down all the way to 718 on the morning schedule. Now again, maybe it's not a stop every morning. Maybe different trains make a stop every morning. One train might not make a stop depending on staff needs. I don't know. I don't know the information about that. I'm not privy enough to that information to know that. But all I know now is that every train, all of the first 10 trains of the day have a scheduled stop at Hillside built into the timetable on this employee schedule that you're looking at right now in the top left of the screen. So, yeah. Correction duly noted. I also want to add to this that there are two trains that show up later on the Hempstead schedule, 754 and 756. They also stop at Boulden's Landing, which is way over on the other side of Jamaica towards Atlantic Terminal. So, yeah, I have been shown up by the timetable, as usually tends to happen. And, yeah, let's just carry on with our service and not worry about what's happening in real life, shall we? Leaving Hillside, our speed limit now is going to be 80 as we leave Hillside for our first revenue stop at Hollis. Going along track number 4, as you can see we are on the far right, that is track number 4. 1 and 2 do operate in the middle, 3 and 4 on the sides. On a little bit of an uphill gradient, which seems to be slowing our increase in speed, so I'm just going to move it to max power for a moment, and I'm going to bring it back down because Hollis is right there. We don't need to go too fast. Nope, we can start bringing it down right now, in fact. This is a really small station. I did not account for the size of the station when I made my plan here. So this could be a little bit of an overshoot. Let's hope that it isn't. Actually, we're not going to get much of the train in here. We really are not. That left to do. Nothing we can do about that. Doors are open for a few of our cars at Hollis. Leaving Queens Village. I would try that again. Leaving Hollis, our next stop is Queens Village. I always do that. Why do I always do that? I don't know. Our arrival time is due to be 3:30 to 2:30, which is actually slower than the real life time. Normally you go from 3:28 to 3:31. We're leaving at 3:29. So technically the departure time is supposed to be 3:31. So let's just see how fast we can do this from 3:29. See if we can get there before 3:32. Because our departure time is 3:33, as you can see. Shouldn't have a problem with speed limits at this point. There's no indication on the route of any change in speed. So unless there's a 70 code somewhere, we should otherwise be able to go 80. Well, there's the 70 up ahead. It's a 70 sign, not a 70 code. So we are going to have a 70 later on. We know that now. I didn't mean to brake yet, so I'm going to put power back on for a second. 67 is good enough. We're going to put it to coast, and we'll do a small brake application. Looks like we would be stretching this service to 3:32 even at best, and that's at best. So 3:32 departure time might be possible at a professional level stop like this. Going into max brake right now. Yeah, we didn't make it 3:32 even, but we are well within the allotted timetable for this route, for this scenario. And we're going to open the doors at Queens Village, track 4. So after what appears to be more than a full minute leeway here, which had to be a scenario design decision. I don't think it normally would stop for a full minute there. Maybe I'm wrong. We are leaving at 3:33. We're going to be heading from Queens Village, where we are now, to Bellerose, where I noticed earlier there is a 70 speed limit in front of, and we should know that anyway. There is a 70 speed limit in front of Bellerose. So that is going to be part of our consideration for our stop here. Well, actually, no, it isn't, because we're going to be down below 70 by then anyway, so it doesn't mean anything. But if the signal beforehand drops to a 70, we may actually have a slight effect depending when we actually start braking and what speed we actually get up to. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to go above 70. There's no point going above 70. So we're going to continue along here. I'm getting down to 40. That's about where I want to be right now. So arrival time is 3:36 and 30 seconds. That again is a little inflated. Already well below that train. Thank you. There we go. Arrival at Bellerose, track number 2. Leaving Bellerose, our next stop is Floral Park. And as you see, it's called Floral Park Hempstead because there's a Floral Park on the main route as well. There are, however, some additional switches being added at the current present day Floral Park. That's what's been happening last weekend, this weekend, and again 3 weeks from then. There's going to be some more closures then. And I think that's the park interlocking that's being installed there. It's going to be referred to as the park interlocking, and all of the I don't know how the switches are going to work, if there's going to be more switch access to the main line and back from at the Floral Park area between the 4 stations to renumber them as 1 to 4. I don't know what's going to happen there, but it has nothing to do with our DLC, so we're not going to worry about it. 50 is our new upcoming speed limit. Coming in actually way too slow. I just realized that. Look at that, right on time. Arrival at Floral Park at 3:38:05. Doors are open. Leaving Floral Park. Our next stop is Stewart Manor. Ideally on the real timetable we would be there by now. We would actually be leaving there by now. But this timetable, like I said, has some additional time granted for departure time in this scenario and for arrivals. So we're okay with that. We just got cut down to a 40 on the signal speed. So for some reason I'm lowering speed now. I must have put my brakes on by accident. We're going to re-increase our speed here. As we now take a direct right here, veering very properly away. That's not where I want to go. Very noticeably away from the main line there. Being alerted to the new 60 speed limit coming up, which will take over from the 50, and then we're going to have a 70 take over from the 60. That may increase our train code to allow us to go 70. Right now we're limited to 40 on the train. Oh, it just went up to 70 now, so we can start increasing to 60 now. We have to make sure we don't go above 60, because by the time we do that, we're probably going to be needing to stop anyway. Arrival time at Stewart Manor is in 1 minute. This is doable. Might be a little tough, but it is doable. I think it's doable. I got to 60. I'm happy. Let's slow down. Okay, if this is doable, I'm late. But we're still within a minute, so we should be alright, I think. Yeah, that might be a little bit tight there. That timing might need a little adjusting if this gets republished at some point. But it is still doable, so this still counts for a on-time stop, as long as it's not a 55 we're trying to aim for. Doors are open at Stewart Manor. Leaving Stewart Manor. Our next stop is Nassau Boulevard. That will leave us 3 stops in a slower place beyond one of them for our finishing the service to Hempstead. So it's going to get a little bit slower after Nassau Boulevard. The first of our main 4 stops. Now you might have noticed in that screen grab I was showing a fire hydrant as I was showing the train further behind. That is a collectible in train. I believe that's a collectible that might go with the route. I know it has with other routes, but it might go with this LIRR route in Train Sim World. We don't have collectibles here, but I have to admit, when I found the fire hydrant, I actually, off camera, just decided to just goofily go up to it and go, ding, to show that I collected it, even though I don't actually collect anything in this game. So we can have a little fun with that. And I do, and I will, and I don't really care what others think about that. I want to have fun. Ding! Collectible acquired, or not. Taking the brakes off for just a second here, and now we're going to reapply them. At a very hard pace starting out, now I'm going to ease them back off. Trying to rely on a minimum brake at this time. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and coast because I might put too much brakes on. Now we're going to go ahead and brake again. I have another 25 seconds to make this stop, so I don't mind. I don't see a stop marker here, so I'm kind of just cruising along at this point towards the end of the platform. I'm going to have to just... I think it actually is the end of the platform. That is the stop marker. It must be. It must be a 6 to 12. Am I right? 4 to 12. Okay, everyone stops there. Just on time at Nassau Boulevard. Leaving Nassau Boulevard at 3:45 in the morning. Normally we would leave Nassau Boulevard at 3:41, but again, increased times for gameplay purposes. I do want to know if we can make that on time, though. I'll have to try that in standard mode. We'll have to give this scenario a standard run, maybe take out Hillside. That might be something I could do. Remove Hillside, try a standard run, and see what the timings work out as. I will do that. At some point. Not in a hurry. I don't know if it'll be on video or not, but I might do it. That was support was probably for the other direction, but I'm just waking people up to the fact that, hey, I'm here. Get out of bed. I'm here to take you to your jobs. What do you mean? It's only 6 o'clock. Get out of bed. Come on. Get the power down. Nope, that's where I need to be, apparently. 40 is exactly where I need to be. going to start braking now for Garden City, track number 2. We're going to have a 15 after this, so let's get ready for more epic slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow downs. Echoes, always fun to produce. Garden City track 2 is where we're going to be stopping. 347.40. Uh-oh, we don't have a lot of time to do this, but we are also going a little slowly because of our drop in speed here. Be quiet. We're being told we have to go 30 now. We were already going 28, so I don't know what it's whining about. Just telling us, I guess. We have 10 seconds to make our stop. I'm not going to worry about the stop sign, but I'm also going to make sure I put heavy brakes on at this point. We're on time. Done. Got it. We're on time. Let's go. That's arrival at Garden City taken care of. Leaving Garden City, going to our penultimate stop here, the second to last stop at Country Life Press. Now we're going to be getting back down to 30 and 15 very quickly, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave the speed down at 15. Only problem is we're going to have 3 minutes to get to our stop at Country Life Press. This is a bit of a push. I'm punting a little bit here, doing it this way, but because we're allowed to go 30 for a little while, we could have gotten a little speed out of this. So we're punting a little bit, trying to do it this way. Hopefully it works out. Now, normally by that... Oh, I almost read the signal wrong. I thought it was a stop for a second. Yep, I know. So, normally by now we would be arriving at Hempstead in about 2 minutes. We would already be through Country Life Press at 3:47. So again, it's just extended... timetable again for training simulator purposes. I keep saying that, and it really is true. So we're now under an official 15 limit. We can't do anything about our failure to gain speed earlier now, and we're now limited to what we have. So we're going to get ourselves into this 30, only to have to stop. Quite convenient of them to make us stop. We know. What are you telling us? About the 15? Yeah, you're telling us the 15. Okay. We're not in marked speed territory right now, apparently. We're still going to have a whole minute and 20 seconds to do this. Country Life Press is 600 some mile away across this little bridge that we're going over right now. Or back there, rather. Not much of a bridge, but it's a bridge. There is the station entry coming in right now. We only have a stop on the left here. That is the platform. So we're going to go ahead and come to a stop on this platform. Why not take the nice casual view here? Admit it, it's a good view. Now, I might have missed it. I wasn't paying full attention. Oh, there's a stop sign. I'll just pull up to that stop sign. That's good enough. That is our 60-unit stop sign right there. So we're going to go ahead and stop at that. We're going to open the doors. Alright, so you can see the doors are open on the display. You also heard them possibly. So arrived at Country Life Press. leaving Country Life Press. For some reason, we're allowed to go 30 kilometers or 30 miles per hour, and our train is coded for a 40 for an odd reason. That's gonna change now. Yeah, that went down to a 15 in a hurry, didn't it? But we got a small amount of speed out of that. We got a small amount of speed. I wanted to see how much we could do that. So our stop is at Hempstead Platform 8. Track 8, I should say. It's probably Platform C or something like that. B or C. And that 30 means nothing because our speed limit is now 15 and we're going to be getting dropped to a 10, which is why we got the 15 well ahead of the 10. We're downhill into here, aren't we? Great. Just what I want to see. A 1.3% downhill into Hempstead. Thank you very much. 10 mile per hour downhill. Why is it always downhill into the slow speeds? Why, LIR? Why do you do that? Do you encourage your drivers to speed? So 3:51 is the normal arrival at Hempstead. We're 3 minutes later, but according to our timetable, we're doing okay. 3:56 is when we're supposed to be there. We live in alternate reality where we know things are not always possible. In this case, I have 2 full minutes to make my stop. I'm also 800 of a mile away from Hempstead. And we're now getting off of that gradient. We're now on a 0.4% something gradient. I don't know what the something is because I don't see any change in the direction of the track up ahead here. Now once we're fully in the platform, we can come to a stop any time, but even if we only get 1 car in the platform, as long as the stores will open, we can still make the stop and we're good. So this is a good way to salvage some points if you happen to have a bad run, get a few points back, or if you're close to being late on the last stop, make that stop as quickly as you can and get done and get out of there. Like, who cares if the train's on the thing. Now, one thing I'm going to quickly point out back here, the junction that we cross here, notice all the manual junctions here. This junction is normally a manual junction. I actually found out that when Brandon made this, there were problems with the junction not working with bringing AI trains into the station. The AI trains just wouldn't come in, apparently, he said. So as a result, he had to make that an automatic junction. So there are going to be purists out there who say, well, the junction should be a manual, should be automatic. Well, you know what? If you can make it work, go ahead and change it and make your own copy of the route. This would still be required. But in any case, yeah, he had to do what he had to do. Not much choice. We're going to shut the engine down on this side because we're done over here. We're going to shut everything off. Wipers too. All right, let's look at the train. The mass exodus beginneth. Look at all the people coming off of this train. Good gracious, that is a crowded train. And it's worth noting that I'm looking on the timetable. It doesn't show it to be this crowded on the actual site, which is kind of funny. I'm going to check another one later on. No, that one's not crowded either. 7:06 also is not predicted to be crowded. Yeah, where did we get a crowded train on a Thursday by chance? Probably the 9-something. Nope, that's not going to be crowded either. Nope. But surely by rush hour, these trains are crowded, right? When we get to the evening rush hour, 4:54. A couple of stops with 2 on them. Okay. Let's try reversing it. I'm just having fun looking at timetables right now. For some reason, I'm really enjoying this. I don't know why. Yeah, these services are not very, very busy services, it looks like. In any case, we're going to go ahead and just keep watching this mass exodus, this unusually mass exodus of people. I mean, if you want proof that this took place in 2019, here's your proof, ladies and gentlemen. All the people coming off this train, because LIR ridership dropped a lot with COVID. I don't think you're going to get this many people with COVID on the train. You're getting this many people with the COVID environment getting on the train. Good job, engineer. That was a nice run to Hempstead on this early morning. We are done with this scenario. Let's get to the scoring screen, and let's see if I'm even able to allow a score, or if I'm going to have my 3rd failure to gain the star on a scenario. And if that happens, you're probably going to see me crack. I don't have to crack today. You scored 1,000 XP gain. Thank you very much. That does put me into the number 40 territory. I'm now a gold player, apparently. What a relief, I'm a gold player. Yeah, I guess I needed to get a lot of points to become a gold player. I still don't think this actually does anything. Why do we have this here? In any case, that's the end of that scenario. And you know what? Now that I'm a gold player, I'm going to go ahead and just casually say, I got one more scenario for you. But I have to get the points on these other two to, you know, get up to 41 somewhere. So I'm going to sneak those in before I actually record this last scenario. And I know exactly when I'm going to do that. So I'm going to sneak those two scenarios in, get the gold stars on there, so we have all 6 of them on there for the final recording. And hopefully that last one records and the score right away, because I don't want to have to deal with this problem on that one too. Basically, I'm just going to replace it with a railfan situation and let it go. But in any case, yeah, next time is going to be the final scenario. This is going to be one called Saturday Stakes. Saturday Stakes takes us to Belmont Park. And I've actually been looking up Belmont Park schedules. There's only 2 trains in and 2 trains out most of these schedules. You would have one train come in before any races start. Another one comes in after the event's already underway. The first group leaves while the event is still underway. Then the second group has an estimated departure time based on when the last race finishes. It can vary a little bit. And once that second train leaves, if you are still at Belmont Park, you are basically spending the time there until next weekend. Or you're getting a ride home, one or the other. So, take a bus or something, I guess. But in any case, yeah, that's the scenario we're going to see next time. We're going to get to see the fun 5 mile per hour stretched into there. I don't know why there are 8 platforms at Belmont. I really don't. Because we only have 2 trains going in, 2 trains going out, and they have 8 platforms there. Why? Is it only maybe for the big Triple Crown event they do need all 8 tracks, but most of the time they don't. I think they just use a couple tracks and they're happy, which is interesting. But in any case, that's it for this scenario. I'll see you next time for Saturday Stakes. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll leave my musing on Belmont for next time. I need to look up more information on Belmont for trivia for you for that as well, if I remember. So with that said, I'm Psycho. Make sure you do tune in next time for that. It will be behind in the playlist right after this. It's probably going to be a Friday release, so it'll be a couple days after I post this. I've decided to go with Tuesday for number 5, the Brooklyn Baller. 6 is this one on Wednesday. I'm going to go 7 on Friday, I believe. 8 on... The 8 will be the Rail Fans on Saturday, and I might do a workshop one that I have in mind for Sunday. And after that, if I come back, it's going to be after doing some of my own scenario creation content. And I'm going to see if I can just prep some video content for that, so that when I do actually release the scenario, you can actually see the work I went into to make this scenario. So you can see how easy it is to make a scenario, which I have never made my own scenario from scratch. So I'm going to have to see how easy it is to make a scenario. That's some time away, though. We got a couple more videos before that, and some other stuff as well. So I do want to show you whether that is something that can be easily done. I'm going to have my timetable info ready for that point. I'm still working on my timetable info pages. So in the meantime, have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. If the video is behind this one on the playlist, the next video, number 7, it will begin in 3, 2, 1.